Good evening, καλησπέρα σας. Με το φακό του Hellenic TV λοιπόν, only a few days before the elections, and we have with us Mr. David Burrowes, standing for Enfield and Southgate, Conservative MP. Καλησπέρα, David.
Καλησπέρα.
How are you today?
Well, thank you. Yeah, out on the campaign trail and enjoying holding myself to account. As you can see, the sun's not been so bad. It's Mediterranean weather.
Yes.
But it's been good to be out there.
Yes. You've been working hard, I suppose.
Yeah, very much so. Don't take any vote for granted.
Only a few days left. Okay. Can we start with what have you done? With the problems that you face, and are you happy? You satisfied? You sort them out, and the people are happy with you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a member of Parliament now nearly for 10 years, and over the time we've moved from a position economically where we were, had the biggest debt, deficit the same as Greece it was, and being able to turn it around and make sure that the economy is on the right track. And so being to see that, and I see that very much locally with businesses, we've got more jobs than ever before, and so that's been really important. And it's been challenging though, because dealing with problems and issues of people debt and business problems over the time, I really now want to really support them as we move forward and try and finish the job of recovery. We have issues of the health service, and so I've been championing our local health service, and we've just been able to secure 275 million of redevelopment in Chase Farm Hospital. That's really important. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, often it's about just standing up for individual constituents. There was one particular constituent who reached the news. He didn't live far away from these studios here, Gary McKinnon. He allegedly hacked into computers into America. He had Asperger's syndrome. He was very ill and was being threatened with extradition to the United States. And I stood up on his behalf saying, we can't extradite him. We've got to keep him here and see justice here. After 10 years battle, in the last parliament, we managed to stop that. I helped stop that. And that was really important to show that I'm speaking up for my constituents.
Okay. Talking about the health and, health matters and all this kind of thing, people are complaining, what more can you do, to make, people happy and...
Yeah, I think, there's an issue around the hospitals to make sure they get adequate funding and support, but also often the issue is practically trying to get an appointment, trying to make sure that you're dealing with an older relative needs social care and support. And so we've been investing in that. We've committed ourselves to invest an additional £8 billion as part of a 5-year plan to make sure that we really support our health service on top of the 12 billion that's come in the last parliament. But so we're committed to ensure that there's 7 days a week access to a GP, particularly our elderly relatives, that they've got a named GP. But it's difficult. It's hard out there, and GPs need all the support they can, and we're committed to invest. We had 7,000 more doctors, but we need many more as well. So it's continued investment, but the only way we're going to do that is with a strong economy. Mm-hmm. And that's the really crucial issue at this election, to keep with us, to make sure it continues to be strong.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you think the economy is going well?
It's okay. We know, Greece will tell us the challenges out there in the Eurozone. We're not out of the woods yet. The recent growth figures just released today showed 0.3% increase. That's not as good as the last quarter, but it's still on the right track. But it shows that we've got a long way to go. And so we need to keep the confidence going so that businesses out there get the support they need. So let's continue on that long-term economic plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to the Greeks and the Cypriots, and going back to your time in the parliament.
Yeah.
You were involved in quite a few things that they were going on, and trying to sort the problem out, and especially with Amóhostos and all this kind of thing, and all this. Are you satisfied with all that? You think...
I can't be satisfied until we see a solution to the Cyprus problem. No politician can be. And I grieve with my constituents about the lack of a solution, the fact that this is the only divided capital in Europe, that there is a continued grievance, properly so, an injustice. And I need to keep working as hard as I can until that is dealt with and solved. And Britain has a key responsibility, historic and as a guarantor power. And so I've agitated all the way through. I've been the loudest voice on Cyprus, a continued friend, wanting to talk up, to challenge prime ministers, ministers, to submit petitions with the Famagusta Association and others, Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots in that issue, united to say we need to return Famagusta to lawful inhabitants. We need to open up the port. Let's get that confidence building measure in place, as well as being on the side of the refugees and the missing persons who come up to Parliament year on year out, realising this is a human issue, a tragedy that can't just be put off, that must be top of the agenda of the Foreign Office. And that's what I've been really challenging them to do. And I'm committed to do that. I have a resolution, for example, on Famagusta, ready to go down if I'm re-elected, to say, look, let's get this sorted, let's really stand up alongside the European Parliament that has said that Famagusta must see justice, as well as supporting a comprehensive solution. And Britain needs to step up and really show that it really is serious about wanting to see a solution. And there is possibilities now, isn't there, with the leadership elections?
I was going to ask you, what do you think about Mr. Akinci, being elected as the representative of Turkish Cypriots?
Well, he's a change, and that has to be better than what we've had in the past. We need to ensure that there is momentum and support based on just grounds, and I'm encouraged that his opening words have been ones which have said they're not going to be tied in with Turkey. He suggested that we don't treat them as like a mother country, maybe sisters they said, I think, but not mother. And that's important because it means that Cypriots need to be able to solve the solution without Ankara pulling the strings. And that's important. I'm encouraged actually by Erdogan not being so happy by the election results, because we've seen sadly on his track record over years how he isn't a friend of democracy. He doesn't like the democratic results. He tries to do things to change it.
Yes.
So he needs to be let Cypriots get on with things. Now we have a real key role to play with people like Turkey to make sure that they allow Cypriots to be able to come to a solution that they need and design. What the opportunity is there with the natural gas, the opportunities there to support economically, but the bottom line is there needs to be justice for an island that, for over 40 years, has just been divided. And I mean, I see it for myself. I made sure I didn't just talk the talk, but walked it, and have been over to the north and taken teams of volunteers from villages to see the desecration, to highlight this status quo is unacceptable with the churches, with the cemeteries. So I've taken teams over to sort of start a clean-up operation, just to show and highlight to the world this is an issue of humanity that all of us should be concerned about. And so I want to really keep doing that as the Member of Parliament. As I've done, I think, for the last 10 years, I want to keep doing that, to speak up loud and clear for Cyprus. I've had flack. People have opposed me and criticised me. When I was chairman of the all-party group Cyprus, people tried to depose me. The North had headlines saying, that David Burrowes should resign, he should be stepped down. But look, I don't mind criticism. I'll stand up for what I believe is right for my constituents.
Okay, so why you want our listeners to vote for you? Why? What are you going to do to solve their problems out?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
what are your plans?
So my overall plans is that I'm a strong local voice, and I will champion the causes. Whether I mention to you individuals like Gary McKinnon, who needed me to stand up and say, look, I'm willing to resign if he doesn't see justice. I don't just simply follow the party line. I'm willing to stand up for my constituents. So to continue to support me. Some issues don't get into public lines. Some people just need me carefully to deal with, to help them sort out care with their elderly relatives, or with education or with health service. A lot of issues go beneath the radar. I'm there really being a loud voice, but also, frankly, I'm part of a team that is on the right track with the economy, and we just don't want to go backwards to what we had before, that debt, that high taxes. And really, the other lot, the Labour lot, that they were the drivers who crashed the car of the economy. We don't want to give them the keys back, and we need to be part of the team that I'm with that wants to help support our economy through thick and thin, through finishing the job of recovery. And finally, keep supporting me, because I'm the person who's leading voice on Cyprus. Don't lose that voice in Parliament.
Yes. So what are you going to do for Cyprus? What else?
Yeah, so very practically speaking, that motion on Famagusta and Burrowes to seek the return, I have that properly sorted out with the Commons, ready to go down to get cross-party support. I will also, as a leading member of the all-party group of Cyprus, try and get friends from across the political divide. We unite often on Cyprus, and we want to make sure that continues, and the community together help their voice be louder. So do all that so that make sure this is the year when we see a solution to Cyprus.
Okay, it's been nice to have you in the studio and to express yourself. And at your constituency, the other candidates are Bambus Harlambus, Labour, Paul Smith, Liberal, David Schofield, UKIP, and then Jean Robinson, Malloy, Green. Well, I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
And we need a voice for Cyprus.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, David. That's it. Thank you very much. Ευχαριστούμε.